Hey, welcome to our explainer. Today, we are tackling a nutrient that gets a ton of buzz, and you know what? It's for a really good reason. We are going deep on omega-3 fatty acids, what they are, why you absolutely need them, and of course, how to get them.
Okay, just think about that for a second, because that is exactly the promise of omega-3s. So, we're going to break down the science behind this group of essential fats that might just be one of the most important things you could possibly add to your diet.
So what are these things really? Well, omega-3s are a special type of fat, a polyunsaturated fat that our bodies just can't produce effectively. That means we have to get them from our food. Now, there are three main players you'll hear about. First is ALA, that's alpha-linolenic acid, which mostly comes from plants. And then you have the two rock stars, EPA and DHA, which you typically find in marine sources.
And here's how we're going to tackle this. We've just covered the what, so next up, we'll dive straight into the why, all those powerful health benefits. After that, we'll look at where to find them, the how of supplements, and finally, the all-important bottom line on how to do it safely.
All right, let's get right to the good stuff. This is the most exciting part, the proven, science-backed reasons why you want to get enough omega-3s in your life.
First up is a huge one, your heart. Seriously, omega-3s are like champions for your cardiovascular health. They work in a few different ways, like lowering inflammation all over your body, helping to bring down blood pressure, and even improving your blood lipid levels.
And look, the evidence here is just staggering. We're not talking about some small study. A massive review that covered over 127,000 people found that taking just 1,000 milligrams of omega-3s every day was linked to a 9% lower risk of heart attack. That is a really powerful number.
Next up, let's talk about your brain. Omega-3s, and especially DHA, are quite literally the building blocks of your brain cells. I mean, they're absolutely critical for brain development and for keeping it running smoothly, with plenty of studies showing they can help with things like memory and attention.
And the data on this is really compelling. A recent review from 2023 found that in a huge collection of studies, almost 44% of them reported positive, measurable improvements in cognitive function after people started supplementing. The effect was even stronger for older adults who are already experiencing mild cognitive impairment.
But it's not just about the mechanics of thinking. Omega-3s also seem to play a really key role in our mental wellness. You know, there's this growing body of research that links them to improvements in mood, especially when it comes to helping manage symptoms of depression.
Now, this is super important. For this benefit, not all omega-3s are created equal. When we're talking about depression, the research points very specifically to supplements with a high concentration of EPA. We're talking at least 60% and a daily dose of at least 1 gram.
Okay, benefit number 4 is a system-wide advantage. Both EPA and DHA are powerful inflammation regulators. They can actually go in and decrease the levels of certain inflammatory proteins in your body, basically helping to cool things down from the inside.
And this amazing anti-inflammatory action is exactly why omega-3s are such a hot topic for people dealing with chronic inflammatory conditions. Studies suggest they might help ease symptoms in diseases like rheumatoid arthritis and inflammatory bowel disease.
And finally, we have a really vital one for any expectant parents out there. Just like we saw with cognitive function in adults, omega-3s are fundamental for building a brain. This makes them absolutely essential during pregnancy for the healthy development of a baby's brain and nervous system.
And I want to be clear, this isn't just a casual suggestion. It's an official recommendation. Because of that vital role they play in building a healthy baby, experts pretty much across the board advise supplementation during pregnancy to make sure both the parent and the baby are getting enough.
So, the benefits are pretty undeniable, right? The next logical question is, where do we actually get them? Let's start by breaking down the best food sources.
Okay, there's a really important distinction you have to understand here. Plant sources, like flax and chia seeds, are super rich in ALA. Marine sources, like fish, give you that EPA and DHA directly. Now, while your body can convert some of that ALA into EPA and DHA, the process is, well, it's very inefficient. So to get those powerful benefits we've been talking about, getting direct sources of EPA and DHA is really key.
Let's just look at the numbers for a second. You've got your plant-based ALA powerhouses, like flax oil and chia seeds. And then you have the marine champions. I'm talking fatty fish like wild salmon, herring, and sardines, which are just absolutely packed with that ready-to-use EPA and DHA.
All right, so while getting nutrients from food is always ideal, let's be real, a lot of people turn to supplements to make sure they're getting a consistent, effective dose. If that sounds like you, here's what you need to know.
It's really just 3 simple steps. First, pick a form that works for you. Gel caps are super common, but you've also got liquids and gummies as options. Second, check the source. Most supplements are from fish or krill oil, but if you're vegan, look for algal oil. It's a fantastic plant-based source of both EPA and DHA. And third, and this is a big one, always take your supplement with a meal that has some fat in it. That's going to maximize absorption.
But look, with any supplement, it is so crucial to be smart and safe. More is not always better, so let's talk about the right way to dose and some of the potential risks. So, when you're looking at supplements on the shelf, this is the range you're probably going to see for a daily dose, somewhere between 500 and 1,200 milligrams of that combined EPA and DHA. For general health, this is a great maintenance dose. But here is the official safety guideline you need to remember. It comes from the FDA. And unless your doctor has specifically told you otherwise for a medical condition, you really shouldn't go over 2,000 milligrams or 2 grams per day just from supplements.
And there's a good reason for that upper limit. At really high doses, omega-3s can thin your blood, which could be risky or interact with medications like warfarin. Now, the more common side effects are pretty minor. You know, that fishy aftertaste or a little heartburn, but it's still really important to be aware and stick to that recommended dose. So, after all of this, what's the big takeaway? The evidence for omega-3s is incredibly strong, supporting everything from our hearts to our heads. But are they some kind of magic bullet? Probably not. It's best to see them as one very powerful, very important piece of the much larger puzzle of your overall health and wellness.